So today's video is a very concerning video because obviously with me being Gen Z, I can't have this guy Eminem, if you've heard of him before, running around saying all these bad things. I just can't stand it. I don't know why we're allowing it. I don't know why he's not being arrested for what he's saying. It's honestly unacceptable, and I will not stand for this. All the Gen Zs will stand with me. Obviously all that was a joke because I was born in 2001, and obviously Eminem, his peak was basically after I was born. Obviously he really did well in 99 because that is when My Name Is came out, and obviously that blasted him into stardom. Obviously I'm not 100% about what Eminem just kind of like was and how he became famous and stuff like that. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I like his music. I'm just not a big fan of the lore. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not like a massive fan of him. I'll listen to his songs, but I'll not go on and see what he's been doing. But obviously, we always have this generational thing, and for some reason we've now got it with millennials. It used to be like millennials and Gen Zs versus like boomers and Gen Alpha and stuff like that, but no, we've now decided that we're against millennials. But it wasn't actually us that decided that, it was the millennials that decided that. They've been telling everyone that we've been cancelling Eminem, which is very weird because I don't think any of us care enough, to be honest. So I thought what I'd do is I'd just play some TikToks and then we can just talk about it. So obviously the first thing I seen when I clicked on this guy, I was a bit like, he looks like he's my age, or maybe like a bit older, but he doesn't look like he's millennial age yet. But then obviously I read the caption and he was saying like late Gen Zs as well. I think it's just more cringy the fact that he's doing these videos being like, oh yeah, we know what real Eminem is and you need to stand with us, because it's just weird. Like, I've done a bit of research of, I'm not gonna lie, I've not done hundreds, but I've done a bit of research, and all the research I've done, I've not seen one person saying that we should cancel Eminem as in Gen Z or the new generation should, because obviously I'm like in the older Gen Z, I think. I'm not 100% sure. The fact that this guy is basically just been like, yeah, play along to the trend. He's either smart playing along with the trend, or he's just being extremely cringy for no reason. So I know this is going to sound weird, but I think I actually don't like the people that are doing this type of content, just for the fact of it's like, you're essentially like, the full thing with like fake news and propaganda just keeps going and going and going. Like, I reckon not one of them has seen like as Gen Z cancelling Eminem, but they're all like, hey, I better make this content, I better make this content. Content is key. And I just don't like it, which is a shame. The guy I'm about to show you next, I like him. And it's like, I don't like him as much now because of this. But I'll play it anyway, and obviously I can't use the music, so it will be different music. This video is him listening to the song Kim by Eminem, which came out in 2000, so it did come out before I was born. Obviously it's like quite a controversial song, as all these millennials are saying. I think people are forgetting like what type of like songs we have nowadays. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously we've got like back in the 90s and stuff like that, you've got Tupac that essentially made the first diss track and stuff like this, and he talked about like people's families and stuff like that, because obviously that's like gangster rap. We still have that now. Like, it's not like we've not got that now. It's not like after the 90s everyone was like, well, that's us done. That's us done. So I think it's weird that we're using this point of like, oh, well, back in my day, which I know I keep going to say it, it's weird.
They have no idea what's coming. They have no idea. Like, listen to Kim, listen to The Way I Am, listen to Kill You. Listen to Kill You. Those are great songs, by the way. Lovely songs. And all to the Gen X people who were on my video saying Eminem is yours. He was born when you were born. But we were the ones listening to Eminem, buying the albums. Millennials, we thrived on that guy, and he spoke to a lot of us. So we can share him, but don't you dare claim him. He's ours. Both of ours. Gen Z, prepare yourself.
This is it going back to the generational thing. For some reason I've noticed that millennials like to basically specifically say what generation they are, because I'm Gen Z. I never get that reference to me in day to day or like anything like that, but when I'm online it's always someone older than me being like, oh, this age range is millennials, this age range is Gen Z. For some reason it's millennials are obsessed with it. Obviously there is some videos where it's like, oh, this is millennials cringe or stuff like that, which is funny in that, but it always seems to be millennials that makes them as well. There is some Gen Z that make them, obviously, but it's always like that age range that are obsessed with generational, which weird, and I don't understand why. But this guy basically been like, oh, he's ours, and don't try and claim him as yours. He's a person, he's doing music. I'm sure he'd just prefer everyone to listen to his music, which is weird that we're arguing the fact of like, he's mine, he's yours, he's mine, he's yours, because music's music. You should just enjoy it if you like it, and if you don't, cool.
Now listen up, Gen Z, cause I've had enough of it. This whole cancel culture. Damn, y'all are so sensitive. At first I ignored it, but now you crossed the line by going after a very dear friend of mine. You wanna cancel Eminem cause he's too aggressive and mean. Your feelings are hurt, you wish his lyrics were more clean. How dare he openly speak about such violent things like murdering his wife. Now we're all arguing about whether or not to play his music on air. This generation thinks they control what's not theirs, trying to cancel what you weren't around for in the first place. How about instead you just learn to embrace Eminem's a lyricist, he paved the way for your favorite rappers to say what they can say today. If you can understand them, that is, I don't have a clue. Maybe that's the difference between millennials and you. You can't get offended by what someone's saying when they're mumbling and stumbling over the words, and it's crumbling to think a generation that's so open-minded can't appreciate this and put the past behind them.
There you go. She made some good points about how she thinks that Eminem's like paved the way for nowadays rappers to like basically say what they say nowadays. But that's a good point. Like, if he did do that, all fairness to him, and obviously he's been it has been an impact to such a generation, and he's an amazing artist and everything like that, and he seems like quite an interesting guy in general. But I don't think you can claim that it was just him that did it. For example, I'll go back to Tupac again, being like, Tupac said all this stuff as well before Eminem. Obviously, Tupac paid the price by saying all this stuff. But then it was like, people like that as well. Like, I don't think it's just Eminem that's done it. I think people are maybe giving him like a lot of credit, and that's great because he deserves it. But it's a bit like, you can't say that he's the only reason for it. He's probably a very, very big reason that people can say the things they do nowadays, but he's not the only reason for it. Hi there, this is me whilst editing, and I have just realised that maybe I didn't explain it totally. What I mean by like Tupac did it first is not all controversial opinions, I just mean explicit content. Obviously that was a millennial dancing in the kitchen being like, I can't believe you're trying to cancel Eminem. Which again, we're going over the same points of, we're not trying to cancel him. We don't know where you've got this mindset from. If we're talking about generations and stuff like that, Gen Z is people born between 1997 and 2012. Obviously this is quite a big jump and years. I also think that means that people were listening to him. I've always known Eminem, like, as in, like, he's always been on the radio and stuff like that. For me, like, my family, we're talking this is like a family activity. But, like, people in my family listen to him, we enjoy listening to him. I've never had an issue with him, but I've always heard the full thing of, like, oh, people want him off the radio, which just seems to be, like, the normal thing that he's either really smart promoting, because obviously he made these. I was reading about it there, and it was saying that his first two albums were very controversial. People didn't like them, so it seems to be like a common theme with him. And Eminem likes that because it gets him his business essentially. But the fact that millennials are now like taking the media in that he's fed and being like, yeah, people aren't liking this and stuff like that. He's been really smart, essentially brainwashing a generation into believing all the stuff that he's said about like people hating the albums and stuff like that. I believe back then people did hate the albums, and I believe now there are some people that still hate the albums and they don't want them on the air, but not as much as people are making out. Oh, actually, it comes with a heavy hand and heavy heart that I've realised I've been wrong this full video. I actually have found the Gen Z that's been cancelling Eminem. There you go. I was wrong. I do apologise. I take everything back I said in the video. I'm actually considering not publishing this video now. Obviously, that's just somebody having a wee bit of fun, and I like that at least they're getting the humour out of it, because I don't understand why we're being so weird about it. We're allowed to just enjoy music. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I thought I'd do something a bit different. Obviously, the music isn't going to be the music that's played, because I'll get copyright struck. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. If there's any video ideas you'd like me to do, let me know in the comments, and see you